seen a trend and thought, oh, I would never wear that. And then lo and behold, later on, you find yourself absolutely loving it. So that is something that has definitely happened to us. And we're excited to share some of these trends that we used to hate, but now we love.
Absolutely. And some of these trends we actually embrace because we found little tricks to make them work for our different body shapes. So of course we will share those with you. But if you are new here, I'm Christina. This is my best friend, Kelly. We have a fashion YouTube channel. We also do a little bit of beauty sometimes. So if this is something that you're interested in, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content that we create. We release 2 videos a week every Sunday and Thursday. And of course, would love to have you join us.
Okay, ladies, so after reading some of your comments in our other videos, I know that some of you are not going to agree with me on this one. However, one of the trends that I used to hate, but now I definitely love, are sneakers with dresses or skirts. So I never ever thought that I would become a sneaker girl. My whole life I have been all about the flats and the sandals and the high heels, never really wore sneakers. However, I've recently found myself really embracing these trends, and maybe it's because I'm getting older and comfort is becoming a definite factor for me, but I also feel like they have just come out with some really beautiful sneakers and allowed us to embrace our feminine side while still having the comfort of a sneaker. So they have everything now, from the traditional white court sneaker to even some sneakers that are embellished with maybe like some pearls, even some beautiful different colors like a soft blush color or a nice neutral tan color, but just so much variety in sneakers. I also love how a lot of the sneakers now are a bit more slim shaped, almond toed, streamlined, so they really can be flattering on the foot and they really can look great with a feminine dress or a skirt. So for me, I find myself really reaching for these sneakers when I'm wearing something that is more of like a mini dress, maybe either right above the knee or to the knee, something like a sundress this works really well with, or a t-shirt dress, especially if you throw on like a little denim jacket or a cardigan. But this is a great everyday look, which allows me to wear those little dresses in the same way that I would wear maybe a pair of denim shorts or jeans. Keep it really casual, but really comfortable. I wore these a lot on my recent trip. I went and spent 2 weeks traveling over all over New England, and I brought one pair of sneakers with me, and I was able to wear them with all of these cute sundresses as well as my shorts for hiking and my jeans, and it was just very, very comfortable. So I've also seen this done with maxi skirts, maxi dresses, midi skirts, midi dresses, lots of great looks with sneakers, and you can really keep it feminine. You can even add a little bit of a platform to the sneaker to give you a little bit of length and height, and there's just so many great options. So if you are a little bit leery of this trend, I would say just give it a try and see. You might find that you absolutely love the sneaker trend as well.
Okay, so I kind of laugh a little bit when I think about this trend that I used to hate that I now love. I think you ladies are going to be really surprised, but I really used to hate pointy-toed flats. So I know you're thinking, that's crazy. We see you in pointy-toed flats all the time. And I loved the pointy-toed boots. I didn't have a problem wearing those. But when we first started this channel, every time I would try to put on a pointy-toed flat versus my standard rounded toe ballet flat, I felt like an elf. I really did. I just could not embrace it. And of course, it didn't matter whether it was a mule, a slingback, or just a regular pointy-toed loafer. I was just not feeling it. So you might also find yourself in the same kind of scenario where you're having a little bit of a mental block against a trend. And you might be feeling the same way that I did, which is I absolutely loved pointed toe shoes. I thought that they looked so cute on everyone. Kelly was always wearing them. I thought they looked super cute and adorable, and I really wanted to embrace the trend, but I just couldn't. I couldn't see myself past it. And the tip I'm going to give you is to ask someone who you really trust, because it was really Kelly who would tell me, you're crazy. You look so cute with these pointed toed flats. It's definitely elongating your body, elongating your leg. It looks super cute. And of course, with time, I then absolutely fell in love with my pointed toe flats and really felt like it is just a trend that I love being able to wear them. I love the fact that they're on trend. I'm able to participate in that trend. So just like I said, if you're having a little bit of a mental block, you can easily shift that by going to someone who you really trust and just kind of showing them that trend on your body and believing them when they give you their honest opinion that yes, it looks great on you and it's just you. You're just going to take a little bit of time to get used to that new trend on your body.
So this next trend that I used to really avoid and now I am embracing it is spaghetti straps. So definitely if you have been watching our channel for a while, I'm sure you've heard me talk about how, I don't always feel comfortable in spaghetti straps. My arms are an area that I feel like can be a little bit larger. I have broader shoulders. I don't really like work out my arms the way that I should, so they're not necessarily muscular. And of course, as we age, we can get a little bit of that like sagging skin, a little bit of like bat wing arms or whatever. And sometimes that can make us a little bit self-conscious of wearing things like spaghetti straps. However, I've recently found that I just don't care about that stuff anymore. I have just really been embracing my body and realizing that I can appreciate lots of women in lots of different shapes and sizes wearing their spaghetti strap tops and dresses. Why can't I do the same thing for myself? It is a style that I think is very practical, especially with our Florida summer heat, and it's one that I think can be really pretty. I like a lot of dresses that have spaghetti straps. I like a lot of camisoles that have spaghetti straps, and I don't always want to have to cover them up with a jacket. I do love that look. I think it's really pretty. It can definitely work for someone who is feeling insecure or when I'm feeling insecure, but I also want to sometimes just embrace those spaghetti straps. So sometimes embracing a trend is more about just being kind to yourself and really appreciating your body and realizing that I can wear that trend. I don't have to, be in perfect shape or have perfectly toned arms like someone else does. I can still embrace the trend. I can still feel comfortable and confident and really enjoy this trend and just accept myself for who I am.
So it's so embarrassing to say this, but another trend that I used to hate, but now that I love are florals. I know I can hear all the comments right now down below in the description box like, what? You are always wearing florals. But yes, ladies, I used to really not feel like florals were the trend that I could embrace. And for those of you that don't know, I actually used to play sports growing up ever since I was like 9 years old. So whether that was soccer, volleyball, softball, just a very like athletic person. I always felt a little bit more in touch with like a neutral kind of classic type of style. And so anything that was very girly and feminine, I just felt like it wasn't really me. And I thought it was a very beautiful trend, but one that, was just not going to look right on me. So one of the ways that I was able to overcome my love-hate relationship with florals is kind of figuring out and experimenting a lot with different florals. So one of those florals I kind of started playing with first were some of those larger print florals. So those very like large Hawaiian style print florals. That I realized was a little bit aging. It looked a little bit dated, even though at the time I was like, okay, I'm kind of experimenting. I'm dipping my toe into some of these florals. So I would for sure recommend staying away and straying from those larger floral prints and instead going for more of a smaller ditzy kind of floral. I feel like when I look back on photos of myself and I have a smaller ditzy print floral, it kind of creates a much more timeless type of look. And I think it's a lot more current and youthful looking. So this is a great way that you can incorporate them either into a top, a dress, or a skirt, especially if you have maybe a top that's maybe a green color that has green florals on it. It will kind of blend in with the top and not really make the print so much of a loud, bold, statement in your face kind of look if you're someone who also struggles with florals. Another way that you can also do it is by having a shirt that maybe has some embroidered florals on them. So this is also another great trick. So whether you've got like a white like eyelet type of top and it maybe has some little embroidered flowers on it, it just adds a little bit of dimension and shape and interest to the top without really making that floral in your face and stand out. So this is obviously a trend. I know you ladies have seen it. I've done everything from rompers to dresses to jumpsuits and everything, but just finding the kind of floral that fit best for me was the way that I was able to embrace this beautiful trend of florals.
So one of the trends that I used to avoid, but now I'm really loving, is maxi dresses. So maxi dresses are those more flowy, long dresses that look really casual, really feminine, and they're just something that I liked on other people, but I really never thought that I could pull them off. And part of the reason is at only 5'3", I felt like I could get a little bit lost in all of that volume in the dress. I also felt like it was covering up some of my best features, which are my legs. However, I recently feel like this is a trend I've really embraced. And I think part of that reason is by embracing those spaghetti straps, like I mentioned before, it also has allowed me to wear these maxi dresses for summer. They're very comfortable, they're very casual, they're very forgiving. If you are on vacation, maybe you had a little too much to eat, you know, you don't really have to worry because everything is very flowy, nothing is fitted to the body. And I just find them to be really beautiful and feminine. You're really putting the emphasis on your upper body, your shoulders, which are a really feminine part of the body, your face, maybe putting on a little bit of a brighter lipstick or throwing up your hair into a little twist or ponytail. It's really highlighting this area, keeping everything else really conservative and flowy and feminine. And it's just a trend that I have really come to embrace. I think it's comfortable and practical and perfect for summertime heat. You can also do some of these in fall by just throwing a little denim jacket on top. So I definitely recommend trying out the maxi dress trend if you haven't yet. You may be surprised. It really is a fun one.
The next trend that I really struggled with embracing were high-waisted jeans and pants. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you. That was definitely a trend that I really struggled with. So I actually have 2 kids, both of them delivered C-section, so I for sure have some belly issues, definitely an extra like little fold and bump kind of area down there. And every single time I would try to embrace this trend by, you know, trying on some high-waisted jeans or pants, I just felt like it would really accentuate all of that tummy area that I felt super insecure about. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how I was able to embrace this trend now currently. So as we all know, definitely there is different fabric material that they'll put together for jeans. So I realized that for my body, that if I want to wear a high-waisted jean, by selecting a jean that has very, very little stretch content in it and has a lot more of that natural jean fabric in it, will create a sturdier, tighter fit right in that tummy area, really holding in all of that belly that, you know, I feel like is easily able to be exposed when I have just those stretchier jeans. They may be more comfortable, but they're also going to accentuate that little belly bump that I have. So that's my first tip. The second tip that I also found is that having a jean that has button fly, so whether it's an exposed button fly or whether it's one that's covered over by the flap, just by having those button fly buttons there to really pull that fabric together all the way down the front of my lower torso will also help to keep everything pulled in, sucked in, and give me a lot more support in that tummy area. The other thing that I also found is that sometimes when I was wearing pants, it didn't matter, you know, obviously they're not going to come in button fly. There's going to be a very specific type of fabric that you have with pants. I found that just by choosing a darker colored pant, so a black high-waisted pant really does seamlessly hide any of that belly area. Also, darker wash jeans or even like a darker fabric, you know, like a black or a dark gray colored jean also can really help to hide that belly area. So if you are someone who has not embraced that high-waisted jean trend yet, I definitely recommend doing it because it helps to create that waistline on your sides, creating that shape, cutting you out in that area. So don't let just a little bit of that, you know, belly area stop you from embracing the trend. trend. I promise you that if you try to pay attention to the fabric content, the button fly, and also the color of the pant or the wash of the jean, those 3 tips really will allow you to embrace this trend every single day.
So a next trend that I really used to avoid and definitely now love and embrace is the color yellow. So for years and years and years, I always had heard blondes cannot wear yellow, blondes cannot wear yellow, and I just really believe that to be the truth. I just avoided yellow at all costs, even though I thought it was such a beautiful, bright, and happy color. I just didn't think I could ever wear yellow. So what I started to notice is, I see other people with blonde hair wearing yellow and I love it on them. Why is it that I cannot wear yellow? And what I found was that blondes can absolutely wear yellow. It's really about finding the right yellow that complements your hair color as well as your skin tone. So for me, what I have found is I really do need to avoid anything that is like a mustardy yellow or anything that has like maybe some green or brown undertones to it. Definitely not going to work for me. Also, anything that is like a neon type of yellow, not a color that I would go for. However, something that is more of like a brighter, like a lemon yellow or even like a pastel softer yellow really can work for me. So it's really about finding that right shade of yellow and also the placement of the yellow. So it's going to be a little more challenging when I wear yellow in a shirt by my face. However, if it's the right yellow, it definitely can still work. It's easier for me to wear yellow in maybe like a skirt or even some accessories, but it's definitely something that I enjoy wearing. I've even done it in some sundresses and things like that. And if I hold it up to my skin and my hair color, I can pretty quickly tell if it's going to complement me or if it's going to wash me out or create like a brassy look to my hair. So I definitely enjoy this color. I think it's a beautiful color. It's a color that every year seems to really come around and be very on trend, especially in spring and summertime. And it's such a happy, cheerful color. So this is something that I would recommend with any color that you are drawn to. Don't rule it out. Definitely see if maybe there is a shade of that color that will work for you, because if it's something that you love, if it brings you joy, you should really give yourself a chance to wear it. So yellow is a trend that I am now loving.
So a more recent trend that I used to hate, but now that I love, are camp shirts. So one of the problem areas with camp shirts that I immediately felt like I was going to struggle with is they tend to have a bit more of a boxier kind of feel. And because I have a larger chest, I really felt like it was just going to overall make me look larger on top and make me lose my shape. So there were a couple of different elements that I experimented with that really helped me to embrace this trend. So the first one being the length of the camp shirts. Some of these camp shirts are a lot longer. They kind of hit me at my upper part of my thigh. They really shortened my legs and just gave me an overall like frumpy kind of feel. So I found that camp shirts that have a bit of a shorter length, kind of hitting me right at that waistline, really helped to give me more of that shape in that waist area and didn't, lose me so much and create so much volume on top. The second thing that I also found was that camp shirts that have a very thick and stiff material didn't work as well for me as those that were a much more lightweight fabric. And the reason why is because by having a different fabric, it was easier for me to give them a little bit of a front tuck, instantly helping me to create more of that waistline, but still allowing me to really embrace this trend. So a third thing about some of these camp shirts is some of them have a straight hemline down at the bottom of the shirt, and some of them have more of a button-up type of hemline. So one of the things that I also found is that by having that type of hemline, I was also able to create like a little front tie, really creating this imaginary like waistline. So having this little fun, casual type of element was just another way I was able to embrace this trend. So by looking at different elements, whether it was the length of the camp shirt, whether it was the fabric of the camp shirt, or whether it was just finding different ways to tuck it and tie it to play up the areas that I was afraid weren't going to work for my body shape, really allowed me to embrace this trend. So this might also be true for a particular trend that you are struggling with. So for sure, take a look and experiment with different shapes, sizes, fabrics, and you may find that you're in the same boat where a trend that you once hated and loathed is now one that you're able to love and embrace.
Okay, ladies, well, we hope you had as much fun with this as we did. And if there are any items that we shared in this video that are still available, we'll make sure to link those down below for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with a friend, and we will catch you in the next video.